Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have made you as a co-host, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Ma'am, can you, is there somebody who can help me with the presentation?
Sure, ma'am. Ma'am, I'll help you, ma'am.
Okay, I've already sent you the PPTs, right?
1 second, ma'am. I'll check out my WhatsApp, ma'am.
Yeah. No, I've sent it through your mail.
Mail, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I've already sent it. So you want it through WhatsApp, then I'll do it now again.
Ma'am, send it in WhatsApp, ma'am. I'll make it presentable, ma'am. Yeah.
I have sent it to you. Have you received it?
1 second, ma'am. I'm checking it. Ma'am, I have received it. I'm opening the file. Can I show it in the presentation, ma'am?
Yeah, you can just show me once. How is it coming? Then we will start off. Okay.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Ma'am, can you view the screen, ma'am? Ma'am, this is the screen visible for you, ma'am?
Yes, yes, ma, it is. It is visible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can we start the session by official, ma'am? By
Yeah,
officially?
you can. You can.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Sometimes the hurdles aren't really hurdles at all. They are challenges. The struggle you are in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow. Happy afternoon. Myself, Chetna Sharma of 2nd BCom Accounting and Finance. With positive note, let's start our day. It is a pleasure for me to welcome everyone to this IQAC and IIC workshop on entrepreneurship, skill, attitude, and behavior development. Let's start our program by provoking God's blessing through prayer. I invite Vedavalli of 3rd BCom Accounting and Finance to start the prayer song.
श्री महेश्वरी वासवी नगरीश्वरी परमेश्वरी कामितार्थमुनिशिरोममुकन्यका परमेश्वरी देवदेवी महेश्वरी जगदीश्वरी परमेश्वरी काववेममुयल्लवेललकन्यका परमेश्वरी बालचन्द्रगिरीशधारिणि भव्य सुन्दर रूपिणी वैश्यवंशयशोभिवर्धिनि कन्यका परमेश्वरी श्री महेश्वरी वासवी नगरीश्वरी परमेश्वरी कामितार्थमुनिच्छिभ्रूममुकन्यका परमेश्वरी कन्यका परमेश्वरी कन्यका परमेश्वरी.
Thank you, Vedavalli. I call Dharni of 2nd BCom Accounting and Finance to cordially welcome our chief guest. I call Dharni to present the welcome address.
Good afternoon to all present here. Think big, trust yourself, and make it happen. With this, let us start this workshop by heartily welcoming everybody. I heartily welcome our chief guest, Dr. J. Sri Krishnan, Professor and HOD of MBA, St. Joseph College of Engineering. Our honorary correspondent, Sri Utkuru Sarat Kumar Sir, Principal Ma'am, Dr. T. Mohaneshri, Vice Principal, Dr. P.B. Vanita Ma'am, Vice Principal Academic Dr. M.V. Napine Ma'am, IQAC Coordinator Dr. P. Bharani Kumari Ma'am, IIC President Dr. A.S. Nagalata Ma'am, IPR Coordinator Dr. K. Sangita Ma'am, and IPR staff member Madhumita Ma'am and professors and my dear students. I would like to thank the IQAC and IIC of Sri Kanika Parameshwari Arts and Science College for Women for organizing a workshop on entrepreneurship, skill, attitude, and behavior development for the benefits of the student. The workshop will tell us the importance of innovation and idea generation to develop them on out of the box thinking. We all are surely grateful for the prospector. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dharni, for the awful welcome. Let me call upon Priya of 2nd BCom General to present short introduction of our chief guest.
As Winston Churchill says, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Here we have resource person of the day, Dr. J. Sri Krishnan, Professor and Head Department of MBA, St. Joseph College of Engineering, Chennai. She graduated from Andhra University, Visakhapatnam, and completed a PhD from JNTU, Hyderabad. With a rich experience of more than 24 years, Dr. J. Sri Krishnan is the in charge of the ED cell at St. Joseph College of Engineering. She also coordinates the MHRD Institute Innovation Council activities of the college and also is the in charge for the incubatory cell under the MSME. She has organized and conducted various seminars and training programs on entrepreneurship development and is also life coach trainer. She is also a certified ambassador for entrepreneurship development program by MICM, Human Resource Development, Government of India. She has more than 50 publications to her credit, of which many are indexed in Web Science, ABDC, and Scopus. She has also presented paper in various national and international conferences and seminars. She is recognized guide for PhD. 8 students have completed their PhD under her guidance, and there are 10 more who are pursuing it. She is a member of Board of Studies, Anna University, Member Syllabus Framing Committee, Anna University. She is also closely associated with the prestigious Madras Management Association and a lifetime member of ISTE. She has received the Best Faculty Coordinator Award in the Chennai International Youth Festival organized by the Youth Development Consortium, supported by Ministry of Urban Development, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India. I think this session will be going to be very interesting to all. Now it's time to hand over this session to ma'am. Ma'am, you can start the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Geeta, for giving such a good introduction about me. At the very outset, ma'am, am I audible? Hello. Am I audible, ma'am? Hello.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am. Sorry. I'm using two systems on the same way.
Yeah, it's fine, ma'am. No problem. Okay. So let me first start with thanking the management of Kanika Parameshwari College of Arts and Science, the honorary correspondent, Mr. Sharath Kumar, the principal, Dr. Monisha Sri, and Sangeeta, the IPR coordinator, Bharani Kumari, the IQAC coordinator, for actually inviting me for delivering a bit of my knowledge that I have on entrepreneurship, how to improve entrepreneurship, and how to be successful as an entrepreneur. See, there are lots of efforts that has been taken by the Government of India today, by IICTE, in developing entrepreneurship. If you take up the times of mine, like possibly maybe 30 years back, if I told my parents, or if I would have told the society today that I am going to be an entrepreneur or start my own enterprise, right? I would have been viewed as a terrorist because there were no support available. Everyone was scared to. Parents would be the first one to stop me from telling it, saying, right, you're going to put away all your money into it and then run into losses. But the times are not the same today. And I'm really very happy to see that your institution is actually encouraging students on various activities of entrepreneurship by organizing lecture and being an active member in the IIC. IIC is a platform, Institute Innovation Council is a platform developed by the Ministry of Education for actually developing an ecosystem of entrepreneurship, startups, incubation, patents in an organization, in an institution at the students' level. And I'm very glad to see that you're very active, your college is very active in doing it, and all my appreciations to the efforts taken by the management. So, starting with my presentation today, I'll be just doing to you on, I'm not going to tell you definition of entrepreneurship or something like that, okay? To be an entrepreneur, you require certain skills which you would have actually done in so many such workshops. So I would just elaborate a few skills of such with live examples of successful people in Tamil Nadu. Okay, I'm going to take people from Tamil Nadu who are really successful entrepreneurs and tell you how do they really put into practice those skills and have become a successful entrepreneur? Similarly, what are the attitude that you would require? And if you have a proper blend of the skill and the attitude, I'm sure your behavior is going to be successful. Your behavior, the outcome is going to be your behavior. And I'm very, very sure that all these put together will lead to success. Need not be entrepreneurship alone. It can also be in your career. It can be in your personal life, because these skills that we talk in entrepreneurship, the attitude, what we talk about entrepreneurship, are not only linked to entrepreneurship. It also helps you to develop you as an individual, take up responsibilities, look into life with a very different perspective, which would really help you to succeed. And if you really take up youngsters today, and from my experience too, it is better said that do not jump immediately after your college. Have a few years of exposure towards what business is, how does a corporate actually work, what does it require, how do we interact, what are the interpersonal skills that you need. You just have an exposure of all those in an organization. And with a mixture of what you have done, your intention of starting a business and the experience that you have gained would surely, the blend of all these would surely take you to great heights. So today, I'll be talking of all those and also give you a small insight into why do actually businesses fail? What are the things that you need to take care of when business, so that the business don't fail? It is seen that when a business starts, if there are around 100 startups coming up, only 2% to 3% of those are successful. They sustain. All others get vanished within a few days' time. Why does this happen? And what are the major causes for that? Also, I'll be just giving a very small insight in a slide so that you could take care of those aspects too when you come out as an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur in the organization where you actually work. Can I go to the next slide, ma'am? Can we have a slideshow?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 1 second.
Can you go on to the slideshow? So now, who is an entrepreneur? This is just a small definition which I have taken up from Google, which all of you should be knowing. Okay, an entrepreneur is an individual who creates new business and bears most of the risk and enjoys most of the rewards. Okay, it's so any individual who starts up something new and he takes up the entire risk by himself and enjoys the entire reward of running the organization is generally termed as an entrepreneur. And it's about recognizing opportunities, generating innovative solutions for that, coming up with new creative ideas, and so. Right, ma'am, I think I'm not able to view it completely. If you can go to the slideshow.
Ma'am, 1
resume
second, ma'am. 1
slideshow.
second, ma'am. Resume share. Ma'am, is it viewable for you, ma'am, now?
No, ma'am. You can just go to, otherwise you can just come out from you give from the beginning, no problem. Yeah. Yeah, now I'm able to, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
No, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I'm sorry, okay, because I'm not able to do it. I'm not able to connect in both the systems here. So that's why I'm just asking you to do it for me, okay? And what is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is a process of developing, organizing, and running a new business. So when you really wanted to take up a business, you become an entrepreneur. How do you carry out the business? How do you organize it? How do you generate profit? How do you take up the risk in that? All those come to what is called as entrepreneurship. Okay, so can we go to the next slide? And this entrepreneurship is actually a very high buzzword today. Next slide, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it is a buzzword today. Very fantasy. The word is highly fantasy. People really wanted to become, I also want to be an entrepreneur. I also want to be an entrepreneur, right? I want to have my own startup. I do not want to work with under somebody. I should be my own boss. So these are the things that we have actually linked up with what entrepreneur is. So these are certain fancy words that I have used. Okay, these are not the characteristics exactly. These are certain fancy words that I have used here, which we generally link up thinking of what an entrepreneur is. Okay, we decide here saying that all the decision is yours, right? That is true because I start the enterprise, I invest my money, okay, or I get it from others, and I take the risk of coming into the market. I take the risk of selling those products. I depend on my own intuitions. So naturally, the entire decision that you take in your business is yours. The next fancy word that is linked to entrepreneur is you become a job creator. You become a job creator. It's right, correct? That is what India wants today. They don't want people who are job seekers. With all such young population in India today, everybody wants you to be a job creator. Provide jobs to people. And being a job seeker, right? The next fancy word which is linked to entrepreneurship is work flexibility. You are actually highly flexible, okay? Because the whole time is yours, business is yours, it is your decision, it's your time, it's your, so you are always, you don't have to be at the, it's one of others telling, no, I have to finish it up, but you have to fix your own targets. There's somebody else who's going to fix up targets for you. So there you have what is called as work flexibility and personal growth. That is automatically linked with entrepreneurship because today, see, as I told you, 10, 15 years back, if I was an entrepreneur, I wouldn't have got that respect and that amount of freedom that I would have had if you become an entrepreneur today. You have a lot of growth. You have a lot of respect in the society. See, have you seen Vembu from Zoho? The respect that he gets from people, okay. If you would have seen Santosh from the Kolapasi restaurant, okay, he has earned a lot of respect. And how does it come? Because they have all grown through the risk that they have taken. So there's always personal entrepreneurship. We go to the next slide. Then else too, that is reality, that is entrepreneurship. Okay. But when we said you like generally what I do not want to work on, I do not want to be rich from 9 to 5. But if you go back, ma'am, if you really think, previous slide, okay, entrepreneur, you have no time. The entire time business, right? Or working elsewhere, you have time from 9 to 5, have time, the entire time, 24/7, that is also not sufficient.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah,
Ma'am, sorry
yes,
to
ma'am.
interrupt, but we are not able to hear you clearly. We have some issues in network from your side, ma'am.
Okay, 1 second. I just put on my hotspot too. Am I audible now? Am I audible now, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Okay. So the next thing, what we saw was like holiday is not an holiday for you at all as an entrepreneur. If you are working in an organization, maybe a software company, okay, you have 5 days a week off, right? You have, if you work in a college or an educational institution, you have week offs. you have the winter vacation, you have the summer vacation, and so. But if you are an entrepreneur, you have nothing called as a holiday, right? Even if it is a Sunday, if it is 12 o'clock in the night, you are still at the disposal of your clients. You are still at the disposal of the person who has actually ventured into your organization, right? Is it what am I trying to tell you? That we think that we are okay, we have very flexible time for work. There is no fixed time for work in case of entrepreneurship. There is nothing called as a holiday in terms if you become an entrepreneur. There is no fixed income, that is known, okay? Because if you have an work, you generally have a fixed salary coming to you at the end of the month. But there's no such fixed income in case of entrepreneurship. There's a huge pressure from the society because you have risked and taken up entrepreneurship. So there's a huge amount of pressure over there, which tells you like, you need to succeed. You need to prove yourself. You need to show that what you have done is right. So there's a huge amount of pressure that you have to keep up your own reputation in the society. And once you become successful, you just cannot stop there. You need to continuously innovate. Is it right? Because without such innovations, it becomes difficult because somebody else will come into it. Your product will become obsolete. You just cannot stop with that. So you need to continuously keep on innovating. So coming out with new uses for the product, coming out with new markets for the product, thinking of new ways of presenting your products, and so on. And finally, you are not your boss at all. I'm my own boss. That is what we think when we are an entrepreneur. No, because there are a lot of stakeholders into your business. The bank, which provides you with the loan, the venture capitalist who invest in your product, the customers who believe in you and buy your product, they are all the stakeholders in your business. So you yourself can never be the boss by you. So these are all the things that you would face if you take up entrepreneurship as your career. Yeah, can I go to the next slide? Now, I have given you 4 pictures over here. Can anyone in the group identify who these people are? Anybody in the group, can you just unmute and tell me, do you know who these people are? Are you able to hear me, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
So there's at least one big figure is very, 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 very known to everyone. So just, even madam, you can try. Tell me someone whom you know in this. No. Okay. So I'll just give a name. Okay. The first, the blue shirt over here, a person invented something that of you. What happened to that?
IIC company.
இப்ப கேக்குதா மேம்? கேக்குதா மேம்?
Ma'am, கேக்குது ma'am. One of the students told that one of the entrepreneur is the IIC company's owner.
IIC companies. Do you know
Yes,
his
ma'am.
name? Isaac. True. The first person, okay, the blue shirt. இங்க இருக்கிறவர் யாருன்னா, நீங்கெல்லாம் வந்து எப்பவுமே basic, there's no age for this, okay? நம்மெல்லாம் ரொம்ப விரும்பி சாப்பிடுவோம். ஓகேயா? ஜெனரலா நீங்க என்ன விரும்பி சாப்பிடுவீங்கன்னு சொல்லுங்க. After food, it's a dessert. நான் ஹிண்ட் கொடுக்குறேன் உங்களுக்கு.
Ma'am, ice cream.
Exactly, ice cream. ஐபாக்கோ கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? ஐபாக்கோ பிராண்ட் கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
ஐபாக்கோட ஓனர் தான் இவரு. ஓகே, தாமோதரன். Sorry, Chandramohan. RG Chandramohan. Okay, he started with Arun ice cream. I'll tell about him when I come on the future slides. Okay, so இவர் வந்து actually 21 years he started his business. He started with Arun ice cream, குச்சி ஐஸ். ஓகே, தள்ளு வண்டியில தள்ளிட்டு போவாங்க, குச்சி ஐஸ் வித்துட்டு இருந்தாரு. 10 பைசா ஒரு ஐஸ்கிரீம்க்கு. அது மாதிரி வச்சு he came up with a new startup called Hatson's Agro. இது உங்களுக்குலாம் தெரியும் நினைக்கிறேன். Hatson's சொன்னாலே என்ன மைண்ட்ல வரும்? ஆரோக்கியா பால். கரெக்டா? ஆரோக்கியா மில்க் இஸ் சார் என்ன? ஹலோ. Yeah. Okay. So Hatson's Agro. So he has its Arogya milk. He started his Arogya milk, then came up with a new model of selling ice creams when he came up with the outlets called iBaco. So I'll explain about him in the skills that we talk. Then, as one of your students has already told, the second person over there is Padma Singh Isaac, who is the chairperson of Achi Masala. He's a king of masalas to me. His tagline is King of Masalas. Okay. And he has really taken up a challenge and come up and actually established himself as a king in the masala field. The lady over there is Meenakshi Saravanan. She hails from Nilgiris, from a Bagada family. Okay. And she has got a women entrepreneur in a firm called Women Entrepreneurs, where she has got no formal education. She has never gone to a school, but a very highly motivated speaker. She's also a TEDx speaker, and she runs an organization and she supports a lot of people there. And this old lady, a proof to tell that entrepreneur. See, if you take Meenakshi, yeah, exactly. Who is that? She's the bar of Master Chef. Okay. The apron she wears itself tells you the Master Chef apron, correct? That's going on live now. Okay, every day you have this program coming in the Sony TV, I believe. Okay, and she's actually 71 years old, Urmila Bai. Okay, Urmila Ba, and she lost her husband and her children. So when she was young, so when she was around 70, during the COVID time, she decided to have her own. She had a passion for cooking, so she started her own kitchen, Gujji Bada Nashta. Okay, it's a Gujarati style of nashtas. Nashta is tiffin in Hindi. Okay, so Gujji is Gujaratis, Ba is the old lady, her nashta. So she started with that, and today she has actually in the latest episode, I think she's out of the Master's Chef, but she was creating international dishes, which I think for her age, she wouldn't have even heard of. Okay, so she's got her own restaurant. So this proves that entrepreneurship, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you do not have to have formal education. It's not necessary that you should be young, you should have young blood. Though no, at any age, you can always start your own enterprise. So can we go to the next slide, ma'am? So this is what I gave you for, and I'll be using these people when I talk about the skills. Okay. So coming to the skills, okay, I don't have to tell because you would have heard a lot of lectures and all those things, or if you have a subject, you would be studying on it. The various skills of an entrepreneur are creative thinking, problem solving, leadership, business management, time management. Okay, so these are all a few skills that as an entrepreneur, you actually need to develop, okay, and to be successful. 1 second, ma'am, let me actually go into my, is my internet still coming out? Are you able to hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I going on the right speed or am I a little fast? No, no?
No, ma'am, right speed.
Right? Okay. So can we go to the next slide? We'll go with each of them. Okay. Creative thinking. What is creative thinking? It's all about developing innovative solutions to problems. Okay. So I think I'll just give a small anecdote. Other things I'm not reading because you can just go through the slides which I have already given to your ma'am. Okay. So if I think of creative thinking, immediately there's an anecdote that comes to my mind. I think all of you also would have heard about it. A story of a blind beggar. Do you know that? Have you heard of it? Okay. So whatever it is, I'll just give you to you a brief. There was a blind person who was very poor. So he used to sit on a roadside. This is a WhatsApp story that was actually circulating sometimes back. Okay. So he was sitting on a road and there was a cardboard put next to him saying, I am blind, please help me. And sitting there, he used to spread out his hands for the arms and ask people to drop something. The bowl was almost empty. Every day, for past 2-3 days, there was a girl or a person who was walking around, saw that this man kept on begging every day. There was no money at all in the beggar's bowl. There was a young man who said, okay, I'll make a change. I'll make a difference. He took out the cardboard where it was written like, I am blind, please help me. He reversed the cardboard and wrote on it, today is very beautiful, but I cannot see it. Okay. And he put that cardboard close to the blind man and just walked away. Okay. So when the evening, when the same person was returning back, he saw that the bowl of the beggar was overflowing. It had lots of money in terms of 100 rupee notes, 50 rupee notes, 20 rupee notes, and coins, and so on. So as this man came closer by, the blind person could hear to his footsteps, understood this was the person, and he asked him, what did you actually write on my cardboard? The man said, see, this is what I wrote. It is the same thing that you were telling, that you are blind, please help me. I wrote it in a different style. Okay, I made it into a different way. I presented it like, today is beautiful, but I cannot see. That means you are all lucky enough to see, but kindly help me out. And that is how changes do happen. This is what is called as creative thinking. Just by thinking a little creatively, you could change the life of a beggar. So this also happens in terms of entrepreneurs, because you just cannot always think what is going on every day. You need to break your shell, come out of it, think a little out of the box. Once you think out of the box, you start getting new ideas. You will start looking into new opportunities. And that basically helps you to come out with innovative solutions to the problems that you have actually found out. Okay. Can we go to the next slide, ma'am? Okay. As I told you, he is one of the best examples for being creative. The ice cream man, he is called as the ice cream man, Mr. R.G. Chandramohan. He actually sold his father's land for 13,000 rupees and at the age of 21. And with that 13,000 rupees, he bought a small place at Tandayarpet and started his first ice cream business. Those were the days when ice creams were made, not made out of machines, okay. They were made with hand machines and so, but they could make only some 500 cones or 500 kuchi ice, the kuchi ice panitrundanga. And that was, as I told you, sold only for 10 paise. Okay. And the Kalatla when he started in Chennai, Das Prakash and Quality were his major competitors. And now, where does actually creativity come in this place? What he did was, he was actually, nanu business ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டேன், but இவங்க தாஸ் பிரகாஷோட குவாலிட்டியாலையும் என்னால fight பண்ண முடியல. அப்போ his creative thinking helped him to venture into new areas. என்ன பண்ணார்னா, he was thinking, what should I do? He found that ships-ல, schools-ல, colleges-ல, that's education institutions-ல, அது மாதிரி mess, the food messes எல்லாம் இருக்கும்ல, அந்த mess-ல, அங்கெல்லாம் there was a demand for ice creams. Okay, so what he did was, he understood that market. That was where he was actually creative. He understood that. The Das Prakash eல்லாம் they were only selling it in restaurants and hotels. They were not selling it in schools because it was a little costly. Even 10 paisa kuchi ice. And then he came up with a cone. The cone ice cream, the cup ice, cone ice. Cone was his famous ice cream actually. And the name of the ice cream was Arun ice cream. Arun ice cream is his first product which he bought into the market. And then he targeted at the messes. He targeted at the ships that were traveling. He started giving his ice creams. Schools, colleges, he started having outlets of ice creams and started running his business. And when he was running the business in 70s, he saw that he was buying milk for the ice cream from outside. So he thought, why don't I start my own business of milk? He came up with the brand of Arogya milk. Okay. நமக்கு எல்லாமே தெரியும் ஆரோக்கியா மில்க் எந்த அளவுக்கு வந்து ஃபேமஸ் இல்லை, ரைட்டா? சோ இந்த ஆரோக்கியா மில்க் ஆனா அந்த கோர் பிசினஸ், அவரோட கோர் பிசினஸ் என்னது? அருண் ஐஸ்கிரீம்ஸ். அந்த ஐஸ்கிரீம் பிசினஸ் அவரோட ஃபோக்கஸ் வந்து தவறவே இல்லை. He was still continuing to be focused at the ice creams, but still he also diversified into milk and other dairy products and became one of the super success private dairy firm. Okay, adu varaikkum Arvind was the only one which was in Tamil Nadu. He was the one who was first to give a competition to Arvind in terms of dairy products, milk products, then kova ellame edutittu vandar and Arogyala. அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒரு 12 years back what he found out was வெறும் மக்கள் வந்து இந்த ஐஸ்கிரீமை இப்படி சாப்பிடுறதுக்கு பார்த்தா, that was again his creativity. He came up with what is called as a scoop model. Okay, ஐபேக்ல நம்ம எப்படி சாப்பிடுறோம் ஐஸ்கிரீம் சொல்லுங்க? Some of you answer me. நம்ம ஐபேக்ல எப்படி வந்து ஐஸ்கிரீம் சாப்பிடுறோம்? It is not fixed, correct? நம்ம ஒரு குச்சியோ ஒரு இதோ டப்பாலையோ ஆர்டர் பண்றது கிடையாது. அங்க நிறைய ஃபிளேவர்ஸ்ல வச்சிருப்பாங்க. You can choose your own flavors, you can choose your own toppings, okay? And on the weight base பண்ணிட்டு, that is called as a scoop model. That was a revolution in terms of ice creams, and this is where he was actually creative. So Ibaco is supposed to be the sophisticated version of Arun, the elder brother of Arun ice creams in Sunna. Arun ice creams are also there, Ibaco is also there, and that is how he has become the king or the ice cream man. That is how he is called as an ice cream man. So இது மாதிரி கிரியேட்டிவா நம்ம வந்து திங்க் பண்றதோ, கிரியேட்டிவா ஒரு ஐடியா, ஒரு மார்க்கெட்டா ட்ரை பண்றதோ பண்ணினோம்னா we can also always become successful. That was the first skill. Can we go to the next one, ma'am? Okay, for creativity I have one more example for you here. Okay, have you நம்மெல்லாம் வந்து spas and saloons people, men, human being தானே கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கோம். This is in Besant Nagar. You have La Dida Pet Resort. Resorts are meant for human beings, correct? Anna, you have a pet resort. So this is something very creative, right? And இப்போ மக்கள்லாம் வந்து நாய் வளர்த்துறதுன்னு வந்து சொல்றது, it is supposed to be ஒரு passion for people, correct? So there is a pet resort in Besant Nagar which is called as La Dida Pet Resort. And how do they promote themselves is cage free, okay, private suits. That means adu kennel kadiyadu. Kennel na நம்ம வந்து இப்ப suppose I have a dog at home, so when I go out for 2 months or 3 months, I leave the dog at a kennel. Kennel na அந்த நாய் பாத்துக்கிற ஒரு இடம், அங்க வந்து cagesல நாய் வச்சிருப்பாங்க. அது மாதிரி அங்க அதுக்கு சாப்பாடு கொடுப்பாங்க, pedigree or something. But இவங்க அவங்கள ப்ரோமோட் பண்றது எப்படின்னு பாருங்க, it is a cage free private suit. So suits வந்து நம்ம எங்க பாப்போம் ஜெனரலா? Star resorts, star hotels, then we talk of suits. Inge vandu they're telling suits for the dogs, suits for pets. And the tagline for them is a stay as unique as your pet. Your pet is unique to you, and the stay that we provide is also unique to you. So idmari pet spa, pet saloons, okay, pet theme parks, idellame pet resorts. There are so many such places which are all come out as an outcome of what people think creatively. ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம், சின்னது ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம், நான் ஊருக்கு போகும்போது நாயை நான் எங்க கொண்டு விடுவேன்? திஸ் இஸ் தி ப்ராப்ளம். ஸோ இதுக்கு வந்து நான் சும்மா லோக்கல்ல விட்டேன்னா நான் திருப்பி கூட்டிட்டு வரும்போது அதுல வந்து அந்த இதெல்லாம் வந்துடும், பூச்சி எல்லாம் வந்துடும். I have to take care a lot, and the health of the dog will go down. So pet lovers அதெல்லாம் வந்து they are not very interested in that. So அந்த ஒரு சின்ன கேப் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணி they have come up with what is called as a new spa for the dogs. This is another example of how creatively can you think. இது மாதிரி நீங்களுமே என்ன பண்ணலாம்னா சின்ன சின்ன things in your daily life you can find out lots of such problems, okay? அந்த ப்ராப்ளத்தை வந்து கிரியேட்டிவா திங்க் பண்ணி இதுக்கோ இப்படி ஒரு சொல்யூஷன் கொடுக்கலாம்னு வந்துட்டீங்கன்னா you can always become a very successful entrepreneur. Okay, can we go to the next slide now? Problem solving. Okay, problem solving na another, it is to visualize an opportunity or a gap that exists between what is currently there and what it actually could be. Okay, problem solving. Can you go to the next slide? Other things I'm not reading it out actually, you can just go through. This is one of the revolutions which could come out into what is called as problem solving. A Zoota Lab mini pocket printer. Have you heard of this anytime before? Yes or no?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, Zoota Lab mini pocket printer na enadunna. Ipo nama vandu, see, we have, it is actually a type of printer. Okay, and now whether as students or as professionals, we generally take a lot of printouts. We take a lot of Xerox, correct? And what is the standard paper that we use for a printout or a Xerox? Standard paper. இப்போ எனக்கு என்னோட ஆதார் கார்டு ஜெராக்ஸ் எடுக்கணும்னா நான் எதுல ஜெராக்ஸ் எடுப்பேன்? போட்டோ காப்பி எடுப்பேன். ஜெராக்ஸ் இல்ல, போட்டோ காப்பி எடுப்பேன். Can somebody tell me? ஆதார் கார்டை வந்து நான் வந்து போட்டோ ஜெராக்ஸ் எடுக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். What will I do? என்ன ஷீட்? A4 ஷீட்ல தானே எடுப்போம் நம்ம. That's a standard, okay? Wherever you go, whether it is fixed by Xerox or any other Xerox photocopying machines, எல்லாருமே வந்து நமக்கு என்ன பிரிண்ட் அவுட் வேணும்னாலும் சரி, என்ன Xerox photocopy வேணும்னாலும் சரி, we get it only. Oh, sorry, somebody has raised their hands. I have not seen that. Yeah, can you answer? Kirti? Kirti and Padma has raised their hands. Can you please answer? Enama, I'm not able to hear. Ma'am, shall I continue?
What?
Hello?
Girls?
There was girls who raised their hands, so I thought maybe I'll ask them, but I'm not getting a response from them. Right? Shalini, can you talk? Shalini, you have unmuted yourself. Sorry, okay. Now, in the Zoota Lab, Zoota mini printers, you can take print anywhere. Or printer, you can carry it in your pocket. Just and either scan panite, paper mail become a socket, or a plug connection, it works automatically. Ink. So you just have to scan it on its topic and place it on the paper where you want. Place panningana, enna size ku vanda scan pannirukkom and the size ku vanda print panni tharum. So Aadhaar card na Aadhaar card size la mattum dhaan varum. Unakku iduna that is, if it's a PAN card size la mattum dhaan varum. Or A4 size la vanda print panni tharanonu kadiyadu. So what they do, they found that there was a gap existing. Enna print eduthalume print comes only in a standard A4 paper. So on the gap vandu nama fill pananumna, they started thinking what is innovatively and came up with. So they created a mobile printer that is easy and fun to use, can be taken anywhere, prints from any device. It can be from a laptop, a tab, or a smartphone, whatever it is, and it can go into any size that you want, right? So it is something very, very dashing, right? It is something which is very, very creative. They have identified the problem. They have found out a clear solution for that. Can we go to the next slide, ma'am? Okay, ma'am, back, ma'am. So even in this, so I would like to take an example. I showed you some pictures, right? I would like to take the example of Padma Singh Isaac over here for problem solving. Okay, Padma Singh Isaac, he was, after his graduation, he was working with Godrej. But avarukku vandu mind la vandu ennikume oru aasai irundhathu, like he has to do something to the society. He has to do something very different. So our Kalila Godrej la salesman irukumbodhu, and he was a very, very successful salesman of Godrej. So salesman irukumbodhu daily morning walk ku povaru. Daily morning walk la pogumbodhu avar appadi road side la eல்லாம் பார்த்துட்டே போவார், என்ன இருக்கு ஏது இருக்கு. So idhula vandu he got an insight, like people, there is a change in the demography of people. Okay, people have started using ready to eat food, ready-made items எல்லாம் சாப்பிடுற மாதிரி இருக்காங்க, நிறைய packets விழுந்திருந்தது அங்க. So when he saw that there is a market for that, he said, why don't I use the ready to eat foods into a ready to use masalas? And that is how he started. His first product was Achi Kodumbu Malagathul. Okay, and his Kodumbu Malagathul was supposed to be extremely successful, and later on he diversified. So in the problem solving another, he saw that people, they don't have time. Both husband and wife are working at home. So they are going, there is a change in the behavior of the consumer. They wanted something which is very handy, which is very easy. அதுக்கு முன்னாடி பாத்தீங்கன்னா நம்ம வீட்டு பாட்டி எல்லாம் வந்து சாம்பார் தூளாட்டும் மஞ்சள் தூளாட்டும் வீட்டுல இடிச்சு மிஷின்ல அரைக்க கூட மாட்டாங்க, எல்லாம் வீட்டுல இடிச்சுதான் நம்ம வந்து குழம்பு தூள் எல்லாம் பண்ணுவோம். பட் இன்னைக்கு வந்து most of the families are actually using ஆச்சி தூள் because he bought it into the market and he also proved that his product is equally substitute to the homemade products. With all the difficulties that he saw his mother was having at home, with all the the gap that he identified that people really wanted something which is convenient and of good quality to use, he identified that and he solved that particular problem by coming up with Achi Masala Tool, Achi Kolumbu Molagai Tool. Then he merged into Manjatul, Melagatul, Biryani, the Anda Masala, in the Masala, there's n number of masalas, you name it and you have it in Achi today. So that is again how Padma Singh Isaac became the king of masalas. Next, when we talk of leadership, yes, leadership is a very important skill that you need to develop because you need to be a leader to be successful. Leader doesn't mean it's only a behavioral aspect. Okay, leader now, it is a thought process that you have. How do you interact with people? How do you motivate yourself? How do you motivate others? It comes into what is called as leader. How do you merge into something which is very, very different? Shows your leadership quality. Okay, and these leadership skills are essential for entrepreneurs as they need to be able to motivate and inspire their team members in order to achieve success. This example I have taken here is Mahalakshmi Saravanan, the picture whom I showed. She's an internationally recognized first generation social entrepreneur and a TEDx speaker. Okay, she was not educated at all, but she had something in mind which told her, I have to do, she comes from Nilgiris, okay, the community that lives in the Western Ghats, and she really wanted to do something for the society. And that's how she came up with motivating people in her community, motivating people outside. And today she has become an internationally recognized social entrepreneur. Okay, so being a social entrepreneur, she has come up with a brand called Women Entrepreneurs of India, which has become an internationally recognized brand, which supports and encourages women to be entrepreneurs. Now, apart from this being a socially recognized, a social entrepreneur, she has also started an department store, okay, in the brand of, I think, Saveli or something. I forgot the name, Saveli, I think. Okay, and that is a departmental store where the entire products that she shows us in the departmental stores are only made by women. So she is a person, so she has taken up a leadership in the area where she has decided that she is going to empower women in the society and make them independent and successful. One second, Pa. Okay, so this is what is leadership. Okay, can we go to the next slide? I have one more example for leadership for you. Yeah, now this is Sharat Sagar. He's just 21 years old and he's the founder and CEO of Dexterity Global. Dexterity Global is a national organization which is powering the next generation leaders. Okay, so he actually inspires youngsters. He feels like the leaders of tomorrow are actually sitting in the classrooms today. Okay, so he has started an NGO which is Dexterity, and he is supporting a lot of students for he's funding them for their education. He's training the students in various aspects of human relationships and coming out and bringing out, because he believes that the youngsters of today are the future of tomorrow and they are the leaders who are there in the classroom. If they are trained properly, they could actually bring our country to the topmost level. And with this, he has started. So he has again gotten leadership quality, where actually he is trying to improve the youngsters through his organization called Dexterity Global. So next. Then you have what is called as business management. Okay, so in the ellame irundalume, you need to know how to successfully manage your business. Okay, you have to have and proper business management skills. You should know how to manage your finance, how to manage your operations, how to manage your logistics. இதெல்லாம் இருந்தா மட்டும்தான் சக்சஸ்ஃபுல் ஆக முடியும். எவ்வளவோ கிரியேட்டிவா இருக்கலாம். You can be highly creative. You would have had a good problem solving skill. You could have been very easily. You would have had a good leadership quality. Ana proper manage pannalena. If your finances are not managed properly, you will go to dooms. Okay, so I'll just play and can you go to the next slide, ma'am? It's a video. Can you just click on the link? Okay, by seeing the link, can anybody identify him? Who is he? Can anybody identify him? Who is he with the things around him? Yarko theriyuma ivar yarunnu? He is also a very famous Tamil Chennai entrepreneur, Tamil Nadu entrepreneur. Kelipattirukeenga ivare? He is Idli Iniyavan. Iniyavan, who is very famous for the idlis that he make. Idli, which is a very normal food. Ma'am, can you please play the video? Click on the video. Open all here, ma'am. Open Ardilya. Is it opening, ma'am?
Ma'am, 1 second, ma'am. We are trying to play the video, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Okay, in meantime, I will just tell you what he is. Okay. He is a person from Coimbatore who took idli making as his profession. நமக்கு யாருக்கோ தோணி இருக்காது மாதிரி இட்லியை வந்து ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஷனா எடுத்துக்கலாம்னு. He makes idlina another, which is a thing which has got the minimum requirement of ingredients in that. Rice, உளுத்தம் பருப்பு, தண்ணி, இதை அரைச்சு தின்னோம்னா அது இட்லி. Correct? But this man has got 2,754 precise sonena 2,754 types of idlis. Okay, so can you imagine how what type of skill does he have? Our Elanir idli, panda idli, star idli, and the idli, in the idli, beetroot idli, and there are so many, I don't know, you cannot even name them. Okay, so many such idlis he has got. And if you have a business skill, idlis cannot be charged too much. Okay, you cannot charge 500 rupees, 700 rupees for an idli. But when he comes out with so much of varieties, you need to, ma'am, it's okay, ma'am, no problem. I'll just tell about him. We can. I've given
at the end of the session, we'll play it, ma'am.
We'll play it after that, ma'am. Okay, I'll finish the session, then we can. Ma'am, let me ask before that, is it okay? Students, oh, nalla irka? Informative irka?
Ma'am, 1 second, ma'am. Let the students answer it, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm getting a few.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, ma. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. Thank you.
It's more interesting, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. You want me to make it more interesting or? Right? So, ma'am, okay. So, in the idli iniyavan, நீங்களே YouTubeல போய் just search போடுங்கப்பா idli iniyavan. அவரோட நிறைய வீடியோஸ் வரும், அவரோட நிறைய டாக்ஸ் வரும். கேட்டீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு அவ்வளவு இன்ஸ்பைரிங்கா இருக்கும். வெறும் ஒரு இட்லி மாவால அவர் எப்படி அவரோட ஆக்சுவலா வந்து அவர் இட்லி இந்த பிசினஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணும்போது நம்மளோட ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அந்த சுனாமி வந்தது இல்ல, சுனாமில அவரோட கடை பூராவே போயிடுச்சு, அவரோட வீடு ஃபுல்லாவே ஒழுகி போயிடுச்சு. ஹி வாஸ் இன் அந்த என்ன ஏரியா, ஏத்து மந்தவலி ஒரு பிளேஸ்ல தான் ஹி வாஸ் ஆக்சுவலி ஸ்டேயிங். ஒரு சின்ன குடிசையில இருந்தாரு. ஓகே, ஆனாலும் அவரோட இட்லியை வந்து அவர் வந்து he didn't stop making his idlis. Our idliya again he started developing. இன்னைக்கு எப்படின்னா he has found a new market for himself. அதான் நான் சொல்ற business strategy. நியூ மார்க்கெட் எப்படின்னா, இப்போ கல்யாணத்துல பெரிய பெரிய செலிபிரிட்டிஸோட வெட்டிங்ஸ்ல எல்லாம் வந்து you have lot of items. So what he did, his management skills, அவர் என்ன பண்ணாருன்னா, he went, spoke to the caterers and found out that he requested them to outsource idlis. So கல்யாண சமையல்ல கேட்டரர்ஸ் சமைப்பாங்க, ஆனா இட்லி மட்டும் வெளிலேந்து வரும். என்னன்னா இனியவன் அது ஒரு ஸ்டேஜுக்கு மேல என்ன ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா எல்லாருக்கும் இனியவன் இட்லி தான் வேணும். ஏன்னா இட்லி இனியவனோட இட்லிஸ் தான் வேணும். இட்லி வந்து அந்த அளவுக்கு சாஃப்டா வாயில போட்டு அழியற மாதிரி different varieties, different sizes, colors. அதை பார்த்து ஒரு கேக் லுக் மாதிரி நிறைய வெரைட்டிஸ்ல வந்து he started making idlis. Okay, you just go to the YouTube and check. Okay, it will be very interesting for you to go through his videos, right? So our business strategy, he came up with a new logistic system. He came up with it's not logistic, a new business strategy where he understood that outsourcing can be done in terms of idlis. So he started getting orders for idli alone. வேற எதுவுமே சப்ளை பண்ண மாட்டாரு, only idli. சட்னி எல்லாம் கூட வந்து கேட்டரர்ஸ் தான் பண்ணிக்கணும். So இது மாதிரி வந்து what happened was his market today has grown so huge. Okay, and he is entered in the Guinness Book of Record for making some I don't remember exactly, I forgot the length. So ஒரு பெரிய length of idli பண்றதுக்காக is also entered into the Guinness Book of Record. So he never had any education. School பார்த்தது கிடையாது. செகண்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ல இன்னும் ட்ராப் அவுட் நினைக்கிறேன். ஓகேயா, அதுக்கப்புறம் கஷ்டப்பட்டு வெறும் இட்லி ஊத்தி அவரோட கிரியேட்டிவ் திங்கிங், அவரோட பிசினஸ் ஸ்கில்ஸ், அவரோட மெட்ரிக்ஸ், ஹவு இஸ் ஹி கோயிங் டு டூ வித் இட்ஸ், அந்த மெட்ரிக்ஸ், அது மாதிரி அவர் வந்து அந்த இட்லி ஊத்துற தட்டு இருக்கும்ல, நம்ம இட்லி தட்டுல தானே இட்லி ஊத்துவோம், அது அவரே he started manufacturing it by himself. அந்த ஸ்டார் டிசைன்ல, பேண்டா டிசைன்ல எல்லாம் வந்து he manufactured his own இட்லி தட்டு. அந்த இட்லியை வேக வைக்கிறதுக்காக இருக்கிற அந்த அடுப்பு, அதெல்லாம் வந்து அவர் செல்ஃப் டிசைனே பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டாரு. So these were all talking about how good he was in managing his business. So this is an example for why business skills are also required in terms of what is called a person. He does it today also, he doesn't know to speak English, but he has traveled almost all the countries in the world and delivered lectures on entrepreneurship. இதே மாதிரி நீங்க கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க, அப்புறம் இதுல பிசினஸ் ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜிஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு ஆட்டோ, ஷோலிங் நல்லூர்ல வந்து ஆட்டோ ஆனந்த் நினைக்கிறேன், அவரோட ஆட்டோல he had all he used to provide newspaper, he used to provide Wi-Fi, he used to provide water bottle. So people used to wait to get into his auto and travel. And he had actually given a lecture in the SSN auditorium, I believe, once upon a time, where I was also an audience over there listening to him. So I just thought how people do really think so differently. How much of skills do they, how easily they develop. Namalla MBA padichittu, I don't know, but they are actually genius. Okay, shall we go to the next slide, ma'am? So nama skills patti paathom. Next we are going to see about what is called as the attitude. Attitude na, it is something that determines your behavior. It is something which you actually are passionate about. It is something that you want to exhibit. When people talk of you, you want that to be shown off. That is what is called as an attitude. And the first attitude that is required is passion. Passion இல்லாம நீங்க வந்து எல்லாரும் ஒரு பஸ்வேர்ட் இன்னைக்கு ஒரு இந்த இது வந்து ஆண்டர்பிரனர் இருக்கிறதுனா ஒரு செல்ஃப் பிசினஸ், நான் ஸ்டார்ட் அப் பண்ண போறேன்னு ஒரு ஃபேண்டசில வந்து நீங்க ஸ்டார்ட் அப் பண்ணீங்கன்னா it's very difficult for you to survive, because you can survive in these things only when you really have a passion to do. This COVID period has actually come out with lot of areas where you could become a good entrepreneur. நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா யூடியூப் சேனல்ஸ், எத்தனை யூடியூப் சேனல்ஸ் have come out. இந்த மெட்ராஸ் சமையல், தமிழ்நாடு சமையல், அப்புறம் வில்லேஜ் சமையல், அதுக்கப்புறம் இன்ஃப்ளூயன்சர்ஸ், எத்தனை இன்ஃப்ளூயன்சர்ஸ் வந்திருக்காங்க. ஓகே, ஃபேஷன் இன்ஃப்ளூயன்சர்ஸ், மேக்கப் இன்ஃப்ளூயன்சர்ஸ் எத்தனை பேர் வந்திருக்காங்க. அது மாதிரி எஜுகேஷனல் பேக்ரவுண்ட். See, these are all I'm talking of technology, and with a minimum amount of technology where you can become a successful entrepreneur. There was somebody called as Rajashekhar. Okay, he has come out with, he was initially teaching the Byju's online mother, he was teaching on coding la irukkravar vandu. Today he has come out with a model where free webinars nadathinaaru. COVID time la free webinars nadathinapro he started earning. I also attended such a webinar. I forgot the name of the person. Okay, our title enna irundhu theriyuma, that is what fantasized me, and I joined the seminar. Earn 3 lakhs in just 1 hour. What his title? So எப்படி ஒரு மனுஷனால 3 லட்சம் ஒரு 1 hourல earn பண்ண முடியும்? அந்த ஒரு inquisitivenessல even I joined his seminar. What he did was he conducted a free 1 hour seminar which was extremely influential. Okay, and then he came up with saying, if you still want to understand about this, you can join my course. My course fees is 25,000. For course fees is 50,000. And if you join today, you get it for 30,000. அப்படி அந்த ஒரு மணி நேரம் end ஆறதுக்குள்ளார so many people joined his course. And he said, this is why I said, earn 30 lakhs in 1 hour's time. So இது மாதிரி நிறைய models have actually come out. And why has it come out? It's only because those people were passionate about what they really wanted to do. Can we go to the next slide, ma'am? Next is bravery, courageous. Okay. Now, பயம்னு சொல்றது எல்லாருக்குமே இருக்கும். An entrepreneurக்கு நிஜமாவே ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தி இருக்கும். ஏன்னா he's taking a lot of risk. He's putting into a lot of investment. It could be his hard-earned money. It could be his parents' hard-earned money, or his kid or kin or neighbors or whoever it is, somebody's money into that. Anna, he is a person who comes out of all those fears because because of his courageousness and because of his bravery, he will overcome this fear. Okay. And he will start conceiving his idea much more better and he will start to execute it. Okay. Even if he fails, okay, he will not take failure as an, or your fail item, he will not sit. He will have the courage to come out of it, step onto it and pursue it further. Next slide, ma'am. Flexibility. Okay. நீ ரிஜிடா இருந்தா எந்த வேலையுமே வந்து as an entrepreneur you cannot do. You need to be highly flexible. Flexibility இருந்தா மட்டும். So you have to build up an attitude of flexibility. மக்கள் வந்து இங்கேன்னு ஒண்ணு சொல்லுவாங்க, உனக்கு அதை சொல்லுவாங்க, இதை சொல்லுவாங்க. They'll say what you're doing is not good. They're not, they'll say, and there may be a sudden change into what you have actually planned for. So when there are such changes, you should have the flexibility of adapting yourself to those changes, to those hurdles that comes to you, which are not actually planned to. Now next, integrity. Very, very important. Integrity, not trustworthiness. Okay. Because the banks or venture capitalists, so namla nammida adla kaas podranga. Nama parents, nama spouse, maybe it is your friends. When they believe you and they put in their hard-earned money into that, you have to build that trustworthiness among the stakeholders. If you are not trustworthy, okay, your business can never run. And now you can make false promises to your clients, to your customers. And if you are not fulfilling your promises, you are not there. The next day, you are not there in the market. So you have to build up the trust among your customers, your clients, your stakeholders, so that you could run your business. So this is one of the greatest attitude of integrity that you need to develop. Can we go to the next, ma'am? Resilience. Now, what is meant by resilience? How do you basically deal with unexpected things? How do you jump back after having a problem is what is called as resilience. Okay. So when you actually face a lot of challenges, by becoming resilient, what you do is you train your mind how to come out of it, how to handle that particular pressure, how to be successful. That is, how do I handle such situation? So when you train your mind to be resilient, this particular attitude of yours brings you above all what is called as failures, brings you above all what is called as challenges, gives you a new perspective of how to come up and how to handle it. So this is again one of the major attitudes that you need to develop. Yes, ma'am. Next. The last is self-control and self-discipline. Okay, which is very, very important as a successful entrepreneur. Okay, how do you manage your time? How do you manage your resources? Okay, this all comes to you only when you are self-disciplined. Okay, success success Mandela discipline poidichina. See, I can give you an example. I don't know, I watch a lot of Hindi serials and Hindi reality shows. I have seen in the Indian Idol, that's a music reality show that comes. There was a small young boy, which Indian Idol Junior he became successful. Nariya kaas paatha, he's with the friends, bad friendship. He lost the whole thing. And he also lost his voice. He came back once again into Indian Idol as an Indian Idol, something like that. He came back as a contestant. Okay, he was not able to sing. அன்னைக்கு இருந்த ஜாகிர் கான் வந்து இன்னைக்கு இல்லைன்னு சொல்லும்போது ஜட்ஜஸ்க்கே வந்து they were feeling very bad because there was no self-control. So as an individual, as an entrepreneur, when success should never enter into your head, nor should the failure push you down. You need to have control over both and see that you use your resources and your time successfully. Okay, ma'am. Next. So if you have the same type of the small skill sets that I have told you, with the right attitude, your behavior becomes an outcome, and I'm very sure there's nothing else that could stop you from being a successful entrepreneur. Okay, so before the beginning itself, I told you, I'll just give you a small insight into why do basically businesses fail. Okay, so if you see the percentages here, businesses fail because there is no need for the product. நம்ம வந்து இந்த ப்ராடக்ட் சூப்பரா இருக்கு, நான் இது என்னோட ஐடியா, அது நல்லா இருக்கு, அதை பண்ண போறேன், இதை பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சீங்கன்னா அதுக்கு அதை வேலிடேட் மார்க்கெட்ல வந்து நம்ம வேலிடேட் பண்ணணும். அதுக்கு ஆக்சுவலா கஸ்டமர்ஸ் இருக்காங்களா இல்லையா, மார்க்கெட்ல ஒரு நீட் இருக்கா இல்லையா, அதை முதல்ல பார்க்கணும். Without doing that, you start doing a business, that business will surely fail. Now, example case சொல்றேன். Now, because I am also an IIC coordinator, I am also be an incubator in charge over the St. Joseph's College of Engineering. எங்கிட்ட ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட் வந்து I am going to start and solar power the station at highway ல இருக்கிற எல்லா பெட்ரோல் பங்க்ஸ்லயும் சோலார் எனர்ஜி வந்து இது பண்ற மாதிரி ஒரு ஸ்டேஷன் வைக்க போறேன். He was very enthusiastic. His product was also very genuine, very nice. But இன்னைக்கு இருக்கிற காலகட்டத்துல it is not possible because இன்னைக்கு அதுக்குள்ள இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர் இந்தியால கிடையாது. Maybe 10 years down the lane or 20 years down the lane, அது வேணா வரலாம். லைக் நமக்கு எப்படி பெட்ரோல் பங்க்ஸ் இருக்கோ அது மாதிரி நமக்கு வந்து சார்ஜிங் எலக்ட்ரிக் பைக்ஸ் சார்ஜ் பண்றதுக்குள்ள சார்ஜ் ஸ்டேஷன்ஸும் வரலாம். பட் இன்னைக்கு வந்து இட் இஸ் நாட் தட் ஹைலி பாசிபிள். எல்லா இடத்துலயும் சன் சோலார் எனர்ஜியை கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணி எனர்ஜி ப்ரொவைட் பண்ண போறேன், அதுக்கு ஒரு இது ஓகே, தட் இஸ் his passion, but which is there is no need in the market. Okay, then you run out of cash, you don't have a proper team na, you don't have interpersonal skills na, you will not have a proper team, you get outcompeted, that means obsoleted where price issues, product. So these are all certain things which I have given to you in this slide, which you can go through, which makes you, so you have to take care of all these things when you actually wanted to become a successful entrepreneur. Shall we go to the next slide, ma'am? Yeah. So, in the attitude, in the skill ella irundalume, நம்ம behavior வந்து is proper planning. If proper plan பண்ணா மட்டும்தான் you can become successful. So planning is in 4 aspects. Financial planning, where you need to have a proper budgeting, balance sheet, income statements, cash flow statements, because இதுதான் is the life of any business. Finance தான் is the life of any business. You need to have a more proper market plan, which talks about go to the market plan. GTM na, go to market plan. Abhina, how do you acquire your customers? How do you identify your customers? How do you retain your customers? Idu ellame unakku vandu you should be knowing it. Similarly, you need to have a proper operations plan, operations in terms of product development, operations in terms of human resource planning, in terms of logistics. Ellame plan panna mattum you can run the business successfully. And finally, you should have an information system, proper, strongly built management information system, which talks on metrics, data. Data is the lifeblood of any business today. So you should have the metrics, you should understand the trends and move forward. Can we move to the next slide, ma'am? So I have just given a brief. Okay, next slide, ma'am. So either one, it's the outcome. Okay, yeah. So nalla attitude, nalla behavior, nalla plan, namak behavior, entrepreneurial behavior varumbodhu nama enna pananum. These are a small gist which I have given, a roadmap which I have given, if what is actually financial planning. Next, just it run pannikala, because it is not required that you have any explanations for that. I just put it because, okay, I just want, idam on the market. So with this small knowledge of mine, okay, I have tried to put across to you what are the skills you need to develop with some examples that I felt would be interesting to you, right? And also telling you what is the basic behavior as in terms of planning that you need to do. I think the session was interesting for you. Now I would close it and I would open for my questions.
Ma'am, 1 second. We'll close it with a vote of thanks, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, sure, ma'am. Are there any questions before that, ma'am?
Thankfulness is the beginning of gratitude, and gratitude is the completion of thankfulness. Thank you, ma'am, for your special efforts towards participating in this program and making this day a special one. We all are inspired by your words. You have given a new insight to think differently. Now I invite Pile of Second BCom Accounting and Finance to deliver vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to one and all gathered here. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who worked really hard to make this event possible. On behalf of my college, I extend a hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest, Dr. Jai Shri Krishnan, who spared time from a busy schedule to grace the occasion. Today, we got a great opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this will surely encourage us in our future. Today, we have got a lot of information which truly help us in our life. We have no words to offer gratitude for your valuable presence here. Thank you so much, ma'am, for making this event glory. I would also like to thank our honorable correspondent, sir, Votukuru Sharat Kumar, sir, and also our beloved principal, Dr. T. Monushri, ma'am, and vice principal, Dr. P. Vanita, ma'am, and our staff members, students, participants, volunteers, and last but not the least, our beloved audience for making this event as a grand success. Once again, I thank one and all present here. Thank you.
Ma'am, can we have a screenshot with all the images, ma'am?
Yeah, sure.
Ellarum videos on பண்ணுங்க. Students are requested to on their videos. Students are requested to switch on their videos. And your feedback link is being given in the chat box. You can fill your chat box and you can leave the session. Thank you all. Ma'am, thank you so much for the session, ma'am.
Ma'am, could I get some few? Can you also send me the feedbacks of the student? Like,
yes, ma'am, it is in the chat box. I'll send you separately also, ma'am.
how and how was it, Sangeeta ma'am? Thank you a lot for actually helping me out because in my system this one got lost. My video was not opening, so I couldn't make a presentation. So thank you so much for helping me out with my presentation, ma'am.
Yes,
you can
yes,
always play the video for your students sometime later also, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. We have downloaded the video. We'll play it for them, ma'am.
Ma'am, was it okay for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you stopped your recording? Have you stopped your recording?
Yes, ma'am. We'll stop it, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Can I leave?
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you all, dear students, for your patient listening. Thanks, you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
That's okay.
Showed your poster and all. It came to the group, no? Ma'am, they're asking for 36 resource persons, ma'am.
Girls, all of you, feedback fill பண்ணிட்டு you can leave the session.
Leave the meeting.
ఉత్సాహం చూపిస్తారు మీదేమో న్యాయం నువ్వు ఈమె ఎవరిందా సరిగా ఎక్కువ చేసినదే
ஓகே மேம்.
வரலையே சாட்ல வரல கிளீன் ஆயிடுச்சு ఏం చేస్తుంది ఎదుగుద్దా వచ్చింది మేము చాట్లోనే వచ్చింది పైకి తను అయ్యో లిఫ్ట్ అయితే అట్లే వస్తుంది లెఫ్ట్ అయిందా